Hey, welcome back to World Entertainment, and we have a crazy story here regarding Jeremy Renner and Hawkeye Season 2 and why it doesn't sound like it's going to happen with him in it anyway. And what we hear about Disney and Marvel in this is actually quite disgusting, to be honest with you, after what he went through, which we will also touch on a small bit. But apparently he told them, go fly a kite. So let's have a look at this. Now, there's also rumours that Season 2 of Hawkeye is still actually going to happen, but without him, which that's probably what they were leaning towards doing anyway. Let's face facts here. I'm sure they wanted Kate Bishop to be the front and centre anyway. But let's have a look at this. So, if a second season of Marvel's Disney Plus Hawkeye series moves forward, it'll do so without star Jeremy Renner. During an interview with High Performance, Renner revealed that he declined the studio's offer to reprise the lead role of Clint Barton when he was only afforded half of his season 1 salary. And he said this: "They asked me to do season 2 and they offered me half the money. I'm like, well, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of money and 8 months of my time, essentially, to do it for half the amount." Renner believes that his near-fatal 2023 snowplow accident contributed to the lower offer. So this is where you're starting to hear how scummy this is. Even though you're also going to see he doesn't try and blame them. Watch. So he says, I'm sorry, why? Did you think I'm only half the Jeremy because I got ran over? Maybe that's why you want to pay me half of what I made on the first season. This is not Marvel, mind you. This is like just Disney. Not even really Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told them to go fly a kite. I mean, just at the insult of the offer. So we didn't see eye to eye on it. Renner continued, adding that he's not ruling out a return to Hawkeye in the future, saying, "Sadly, I still love the character. I'd still love to do it, but I had to defend myself. I didn't ask for any more money, mind you. Just pay me what I made in the first season." So it's all disheartening that didn't happen. But that's fine. I'm happy to let that go because my body's probably thanking me time and time again that I'm not doing it right now, but we'll see. So you're hearing there that they offered him season 2, but they offered him less money than what he got paid for the first season. And as he says there, he would have to do double the work. Now that doesn't mean, for anyone wondering, what do you mean double the work, like more stunts and stuff? No, he means to keep his body moving. Because if you saw his interview with Joe Rogan, which I saw the main part where he talks about the actual accident that happened, he basically has to keep moving now, otherwise his body gets stiff and starts paining him, so he has to constantly do stretches and all this type of stuff. He would have to double down on doing more of that constantly. Working out would be more of an effort for him, and they were offering him less money. And he says he believes that they are offering him less money because of the accident. And as you can see, he tries to not really call out Marvel or Disney. He calls out us, the accountants. No, that would be Kevin Feige's call. He would have been the one that went, nah, look, we'll get him back, but we'll only pay him half the money. Like, there's no way the accountants just went, hey, let's bring him back, but we'll offer him half the money. No, it would have been Kevin Feige's call, and probably Bob Iger's as well. So you're just seeing how scummy they are. The dude literally died. And this is the thing. We're going to talk a little bit now about his accident, because what actually happened to him is insane. I don't know how this guy is actually still alive. Now, apparently, he did actually die for a few minutes. But he didn't only get half run over by the track on the snow. It fully ran over him. His head and everything. And what he basically said is his skull got fractured, so it got crushed. His eye popped out of his socket, so all that side of his face is being rebuilt. There's metal plates and everything on that side of his jaw and his cheekbone and stuff. He had 32 fractures on his ribs, so they had to reconstruct those. His legs were all pretty much completely destroyed and had to be rebuilt. He said the only part that didn't get damaged, which he couldn't believe, was his spine. Where with all the other fractures of bones, particularly the ribs and everything else, his spine was the only thing that didn't suffer anything, which he thought was insane that happened. But yeah, then he talks about all the surgeries he had to go through, all the screws that's in his legs, how his eye actually popped out when the thing ran over his head. You have to actually listen to the interview and you'll see, and you just go, this is insane that this guy is sitting here moving. He can walk, he can talk, he's fine. It's insane. And that's the other part that he was shocked, because his skull got fractured and everything, was that his brain was untouched. So literally the only two parts of him that were pretty much unscathed were his brain and his spine, and the majority of his major organs. I think he said it was his liver that got pierced by part of his rib bone. But other than that, you're just like, how is this guy still alive? And he went through all that. He's rehabilitated. He's back walking, talking, everything. You wouldn't think this guy got ran over. And Disney and Marvel have turned around and said, hey, we'd like you to come back and do season 2 of Hawkeye, but we're going to pay you less. That is insane. And the fact that he's even saying, like, I didn't even ask for more money. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And as I said, pretty much disgusting on Marvel's part to sit there and say, hey, this guy survived, let's pay him less money though. Crazy. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.